Hello everyone, this is Gilda.
And Louis.
And this is our first podcast. Hello everyone, broadcasting from Kissimmee, Florida. We are Gilda and
Louis.
Here to talk about everything, anything, and ramble for your entertainment.
Okay, cool. So what are we going to talk about? What's the plan?
We're going to talk about Disney Cruise Line. We've been to two cruises. The last cruise before this that we did, I was pregnant with Kelly.
Yeah.
We had a blast, but it still doesn't
count.
It's
not a Disney cruise.
It wasn't a Disney cruise.
Nah.
I couldn't drink. All I could do was eat. Can you name all the ships?
I'll try.
Okay.
Obviously, I'll go with the ones that we started. The Disney Dream, the Disney Fantasy, the Disney Wish, the Disney Treasure, the Disney Wonder, and the Disney Magic.
Yes, you got it. Woo!
There we go.
Perfect. Alrighty. What do you think of the newest one, the Treasure?
The Treasure, I've heard mixed reviews, to be honest with you. More of the accessibility, about people complaining stuff about that, about the accessibility is a little bit more harder than the other ones. But again, I guess we'll have to get on it to see.
Yeah. Because I've heard also, we are obsessed with getting on the Wish.
Yeah.
It has the Cinderella statue on the lobby, and I am obsessed with Cinderella.
Yes.
So we want to get into that one. But I've heard many complaints about the Wish, but I still want to go.
Yeah.
I'm most excited for the new ship, for that Haunted Mansion lounge.
The theme. Yes,
the
theme. Yeah.
That looks so cool.
Yes.
So I want to be able to experience it, at least see it.
Yes. Oh, definitely. I agree.
Yeah. We got to talk about the right amount of days that you're on the cruise. What do you think?
Okay, so I know we mentioned this when we were on the boat, because on the ship for the first couple of times. The first one was the Dream, which was the first one we did, and it was 4 days.
Yeah.
Going out of Miami. And then the other one was the Fantasy, which was going out of Cape Canaveral, which was 7 days.
Yeah.
And the 4 days, to be honest with you, like after the second or third day is when you start to get into it. And then you're like, oh, I got one more day left. Okay, maybe, And
the last one is just breakfast and go.
And breakfast and go. And you're gone, and you're taking off of the boat. And then the other one was 7 days, which was good. And we're like, yeah, we're going to go for 7 days. But I guess after like day five or so,
or 6, yeah.
we were starting to miss our cats. And
we have two cats.
Yeah.
We're surprised they're not hanging around, but yes, we have two cats and we're obsessed with them. So we were missing them so much.
I don't know. So maybe something in the middle of that, between 4 and 7.
At least for people like us that are obsessed with their pets.
Yeah. Maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah, something like that. So what do you think about the cost of the cruise line?
Okay, obviously being Disney, it's obviously Disney. I don't want to say that it's not going to be cheap, but you're gonna get what you pay for. So obviously, what we paid was really worth it. And obviously you're going to pay a little bit more because being Disney. But again, you pay what you get it for. But again, the first one we got a really good price. Yes.
We're gonna be honest here. I'm a Disney cast member, so we got a discount through the Disney cast member area, and it was a really nice discount. We had a blast. I loved it. That's what got us into the cruise line.
Yeah.
But we had a great price. For the second one, we paid full price because it wasn't on the available list of discounts. What happens is they give you a list of what they have available, and you pick from that list. Obviously, that time wasn't available. And for the second one, it was our 30th anniversary. 30.
That's a 3.
And so we really wanted to be at sea. We really wanted to be we looked into other cruise lines, but it wasn't like what we wanted.
Yeah.
And so we decided to go with Disney. Even though it was and I don't know, I've heard mixed reviews about this. I don't know how true it is. With all the extra charges that they give you in other cruise lines, it adds up to the same thing as Disney. We don't know.
Yeah.
So feel free to just make the math for us and tell us.
But definitely, again, the price, what you pay for is what you're going to get. In the case of Disney, everything is themed Disney. It's just like going to a deluxe resort, to be honest with you. Everything was themed, the music, For example, like you said, we went during Halloween, and how cool was that you'd open up the door and in the hallways they were playing, the Haunted Mansion music, or they were playing, all this other stuff.
You could not go anywhere without Halloween themed.
Yeah.
It was absolutely, even the staff was
the napkins, everything, the staff, people were dressed up.
It was fantastic. It was absolutely great. Yeah. I know some people say that they don't do cruise line unless they do concierge. I've never experienced concierge on any level. So I don't know.
Yeah,
we couldn't justify the.
Yeah, for what we saw on the documentation, the concierge has first. I think when you go into the ship, you come in through a different level,
and you go in first.
You go in first,
and you have access earlier to the excursions, the cabanas, and all that stuff. We don't do cabanas, to be honest. Yeah. We're happy to be on the beach, just sitting on a chair, sipping our drink.
If you got the money to burn, great. But in our case, we rather save the money for other stuff. And again, people say, the rooms. Okay, great. We had the room with the balcony, the veranda, because it was part of the package. Yeah. That the people actually give up because they'd rather have the indoor one because it has a screen and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we hardly never use the room except to sleep, and that's it. You just like when you go to a Disney park, you go to the park, you're all day, you're doing all the stuff, all the activities. Yeah. Maybe go back for a nap or something. But we never did room service. We never did.
I know people who do room service all the time at the ship, and I understand if you have little kids, maybe that's good for you. But we like getting up early and going all the way up to Cabana and
watching the sunrise, the sunrise on Mexico. Or how cool was it? We wake up and we go sit right next to the window, and it's like, where are we today? And we look out. Oh, there's the Cayman Islands, and there's Mexico. There's the Bahamas. This
it was really good.
It was like, are you kidding me? It was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing.
So let's talk about excursions.
Excursions.
Yeah. Because that's part of the advantage apparently from booking and concierge. Honestly, I recommend you make a list of everything you want to do, and make priorities. For our second cruise, our first priority was get Palo. That was the most important part of the whole trip. Do Palo. The rest was
secondary. Yeah.
Was secondary. Yeah. So we make a list.
Okay, so Palo. Okay, so definitely Palo was the first thing that we wanted to get, and thankfully we got that, the first thing.
Yeah, that was the first thing you did. The second thing we did, we looked at the excursions and we planned on doing some of them. Unfortunately, we did not do 2 of them. I got hurt right before the vacation. Yeah. And so I was in a wheelchair for a little bit, and some of the excursions you had to walk a lot. So we unfortunately had to cancel those.
Yeah, some of those.
Yeah. But they were very understanding and very nice about it. Yeah. I personally would not book an excursion if it's not with Disney. Not the ones that Disney have.
No.
Yeah, because you don't want to be that person that it's
comes
running.
Comes on YouTube video running there in the dock because the boat is leaving and
Yeah, because if you book with Disney or with any of the other cruise lines, apparently, they're very strict about that. If for any reason the excursion takes longer and you're not going to be able to be there when the boat is supposed to leave, the boat will wait for you. Because you're in a Disney excursions that they guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly. So they're responsible for you. And the other ones, it's like, good luck. Because, of course, there's all types of excursions. But you can also walk around the cities, and there you'll find tons of people because they did it to us. Yeah. Hey, well, do you need a taxi driver? I can drive you. And you're like, you don't know where these people are going.
I'm sorry. I'm not getting on a cab. I know some people they're okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm very paranoid, and so I'm not getting on a cab with a person, or I'm not getting on any car with a person that I don't know in a country I've never been to go drink alcohol.
Yeah,
absolutely
even
not.
If you're offering me free food for a vacation club or something, nope.
No, thank you. Pass. We went out in Mexico and did a little stroll and walked around, bought some stuff.
Yeah.
And then we went back to the ship because honestly my leg was hurting. And so like it was fine. We had a great time. Like
yeah.
we had a fun time.
Yep.
And every excursion costs extra, and
Yeah.
we don't scuba dive. We don't.
Yeah, so you pay what you want.
Yeah,
It goes
you
from the
have
highest
to-
to the lowest to.
You have to determine what you want. Some people are like very adamant that they want their kids to do like the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo or the Princess Tea Party. They have a tea party or something like
Yeah,
that.
they have a simulation thing on the top floor as well that you can rent. And,
So I get it.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do that and it's your priority, absolutely.
Yeah.
Make sure you make a list. That's the only thing I recommend. Make a list and start with what's most important to what's least important.
yeah,
And as soon as you can book it, start booking.
which is 90 days at midnight.
Yeah, exactly.
Open the app, the Disney Cruise app, and we're going to talk later about it. But that app is just it's amazing. I think it's even better than the regular app, to be honest with you. But,
Yep.
Yeah, because it's all done through there, and we'll talk
Yeah.
later about that. But
Yeah.
at midnight, 90 days away, you go into that app, and that's where you pick your stuff and you reserve it, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the seating for dinner.
Yeah. seating.
For breakfast and lunch,
Mm-hmm.
you have the option of going to Cabanas, which is on the 11th floor.
11th floor. Yeah.
Yes,
Same as the
it's
pool.
on the 11th floor, same as the pool. And or you can go at the regular sit-down meal and have a meal over
Yeah.
there. We most of the times went to Cabanas, mostly because we loved sitting in a corner and watching the sea or watching like
Yeah.
the area where we were. It looks so nice and it's perfect. So we loved it. It was perfect. But for dinner, you have to go to your table service, which is like any of the. It was the Enchanted Garden, the Animator's Palette, and Royal Court.
There you go.
For breakfast and lunch, you can either go to your table service or you can go up to Cabanas and have that. We love going to Cabanas only because you can sit at the top. You can sit in any corner and watch the sea or watch where you were and admire the view. And it was
Yeah.
lovely.
Amazing.
It was amazing. So we loved going over there and just sitting and watching.
Yep.
But you can also go to your table service. It's absolutely okay
It's up to
do
you.
that. There's two seatings for that part. There's 6:30 and 8:30.
Yep.
We decided to pick 8:30 mainly because we don't have any kids, so we're not in a rush to get them to bed.
Yeah.
And so we decided that it was best just leaving that time for all the parents that did have kids. We could have dinner at 8:30, be like in the meantime have a cocktail,
Yeah.
have a late lunch if we needed to. We used to wake up late, so breakfast was late, lunch was late, and dinner was late.
Yeah.
So it was perfect. It was perfectly all right for us.
Yeah. Plus the shows all were perfectly timed. So no matter what
Yes.
what seating you had, like the one, like there's a pirate show at one of the nights and there's fireworks and stuff like that. So there's a moment there that you get your dinner at 8:30, which is like we did. We'd have, and you get out 9:40 and something. The show was at 10, so it was perfect.
It was perfect. You wouldn't miss. Everything was
Nothing.
so perfectly timed.
Yeah.
You didn't need any of that.
Plus, also, I do want to add that when you're meeting the characters that are there in the lobby, they're all out until like 10. So
Yeah, you don't miss anything.
You don't miss anything. So you can go see some characters and meet,
Pop
Mickey
out
and Minnie.
your phone, look at the
Yeah,
application, and you're done.
Exactly, and it's 7 o'clock at night, and you can still meet characters, which is amazing. When usually at the park, say 4 or 5, they're already gone. So you could do stuff like that, which was really amazing. So you can always have your dinner at the end and watch a show, and then even maybe nightcap at one of the other bars like we did.
One thing I like to mention, it is not guaranteed, but if you prefer to sit alone, you can ask for that. For the first cruise,
Yes.
we were seated alone, not because we picked to be seated alone, because it wasn't that
It wasn't
crowded.
that full, yeah.
It wasn't that full. For the second one, we had partners. We had table partners,
Yeah, I had
two other couples, and it was lovely. We enjoyed their company so much. So it was fun. It was really fun. But if you're the type of person that prefers to sit alone, Absolutely.
Make sure you request it. Yeah.
You can request it. It is not a guarantee that will happen, but hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't. It's just you can ask for it. Let's talk about my favorite subject. Do you know what it is?
I know what it is. Yes.
Booze.
Booze, of course. Yeah.
So
what's up with booze?
Oh God. I am still thinking on our second cruise, the first night we went to, what was that bar?
Bon Voyage.
Bon Voyage.
Which is the one right at the lobby, right when you go in and they mention your name. There's a bar right there. And that was on our bucket list. I said, I cannot wait. In 3 days, in 10 days, we're going to be going into the
Bon Voyage. So we went there and we asked the bartender, give us like something special. This is our cruise for our 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
We want to celebrate with something amazing. And he popped out this blue
sparkling
amazing drink that I cannot get out of my mind, and I cannot wait to taste again. My goodness, how good was it?
Yes, it was. Yeah, and I'll put a video for this stuff. It was good stuff. Loved it.
It was so good.
Yes. Yes.
Which was what surprised me the most is that booze wasn't that expensive. No. I was expecting it to be a lot more expensive.
Yes. Airport style.
Yes, I was expecting airport style.
Orlando airport style. Yeah.
And it was like, okay, this is not as bad as I expected it. But it was so good. Same thing for every other bar.
Yeah.
They have in the excursions, you can book
the tastings.
The tastings and the classes. We booked a mixology class for the Dream.
With the Russian.
Oh, with a Russian man.
Yeah.
My goodness. If you're watching this video, I have never, ever seen a man like you.
Passionate and loved it.
Passionate about alcohol. The right time of alcohol. Not sounding like an absolute... Like you showed so much respect for alcohol and what it represented. Like I was in awe.
Of the brands, the
names.
sizes,
there were alcohols there we didn't know. We were like, what?
And the size of why the cups were the certain shapes.
Yes.
And ice and this and
what served with what and what was supposed to be.
It was mind blowing.
If you're serving food with this was the type of food, the type of alcohol that you served. I was in awe. Yeah. I truly admired him.
And the cool thing, obviously, is that you taste all this stuff. It's not like I sit there and take a class. No. They bring the stuff out and you start drinking, you start tasting.
Yeah.
And at the end, oh my God, at the end it was so funny. Somebody didn't go to the class and the guy's like, oh, I got 2 more drinks here if anybody wants them because I cannot put them back in the bottle. And you know who raised up her hand and drank them happily ever after? And she says, I'll take them. And she just gobbled them down. Like,
nobody else wanted it. Yeah. He couldn't put it back in the bottle. He said he was going to throw it away. Well, I raised my hand like tribute.
So what other one did we do? We did the mixology.
We did the chocolate and wine. We did the beer one.
Yes.
Which we were surprised. The only beer we didn't like was the Guinness.
Yeah.
We were not fans, and I know we're going to get so much hate for it.
Yeah.
But we were not fans. But we took the beer class. We took a point to make, do not take that class.
We did it at 10 a.m. or something?
At 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Oh. First of all, we had stayed up late the night before.
Yeah.
So waking up for that class was rough.
Yeah, it was rough.
And then beer at 10 a.m. like it was.
Yeah,
it was probably not our best moment.
No.
But did we do it? Yes.
Oh yeah.
And then what other one did we do?
I think that was it. I think that's it.
No, we did one more, but I can't remember.
So we did the chocolate and champagne. There's a champagne one that we did. It was
the champagne one.
The champagne one, yes.
Yes.
With the guy talking about the grapes. This was another guy.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
Who knew his stuff. It was like,
my goodness.
That was the good year for the grapes and this and that and the families and the vineyards and the weather. And you're like,
yes.
You're like, holy
He would talk about the weather, what was best for the champagne, for the grapes, for the champagne, the history.
Yes.
He had history. For that.
And remember the champagne, he said that you can even have with ice.
Yes,
there's here champagne you can drink with ice.
He brought in this champagne, and he was like, "This is cheap champagne," and he told us why. I cannot remember the story about it behind it. You can probably look it up and find it, but there was a story behind the whole having the champagne with ice.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, technically, this is what they call cheap champagne," and I was like, "This must be cheap champagne," but I'll tell you what, I'll still drink it because it tasted so good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
And how about the prices of the champagne? He says, "Oh, that bottle you guys are drinking is $300,
yes.
$200," and then
he goes, "Yeah,
$750."
this bottle that you're drinking is $300," and I'm like, excuse me," and they're like, "Oh, we have bottles here for $700." Absolutely not. Listen, I love my alcohol, but I am not paying $700 for one bottle. No, I can get many drinks with $700.
Oh yeah.
But he knew his stuff. He absolutely knew his stuff, which funny enough, he was one of the, I guess, general managers or managers of Palo.
Yes.
We found them, like when we went to Palo, he was there. And he knew like everything.
What do you want to match with? And
what are you eating? Okay, well, you should match it with this. What do you like? You like fruity stuff? Okay, well, and you're having this, you should have this. Yeah. Same as our server. Our server knew exactly what we wanted, how we wanted. Everything was amazing of that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the amenities.
Amenities, yes.
Yeah. What's on the boat? What do we have?
Okay, so oh my God, there was tons of things. You went to the spa.
Yes, I went to
the full-blown spa with the killer view.
It had the most amazing view.
Yes.
And it's right at the top next to the gym. That Luis went and took pictures, but never went.
Never went. I just went in.
Yeah.
There's pools. There's obviously the main Mickey pool. There's the Donald pool, and there's also
there's the area for the adults.
For the adults, which are the last two floors. That I'll put some photos here for you guys. And obviously, there's bars up there, which is only for adults, so the kids are not, nice and quiet up there. There was a mini golf in the back. There was a simulator. There was a basketball court. There was movies inside. There was a theater there that took 2 floors, which we watched shows in. They put movies in there, and like current movies, the ones that were playing.
Places to shop
and sit down and watch them.
The places to shop if you were at sea.
Yeah.
It was amazing. We were absolutely in awed and how many stuff to do. So that's why I say if you don't book an excursion and you prefer to stay on the ship, you will not be bored.
Yeah, and then even some of the locations like where they would do gatherings at the nighttime during the day, they'd do trivias. There was even bingo that they were giving money out at the end. It was like they'd do a pool at the end. There was like a big bingo and it was literally cash prizes. Like, how cool is that?
There's also places where you can sit down.
Yes, we have a boutique and
there's also your places that if you're the reader type like me, you can sit down and just have a time of your life just reading.
Yeah, there's
and
a
having
track around the boat.
People would
shuffleboard.
Shuffleboard, or they would run around the boat. That's the other part. It was like everything. But there's one thing on the boat. Let's talk about your favorite topic.
Okay.
The Wi-Fi.
Oh Lordy! No, I let you talk about that one.
It's a sore thumb.
Because on your cruise, like you said, you're supposed to unplug and you're supposed to get out and.
We get it. We get the idea behind it, but we still needed internet.
Yeah, for some reason or the other, you want to, Then here's the funny part: certain things worked and certain things didn't because there was like a free Wi-Fi, like 50 megs or something like that. And again, this could all change depending on, because I know that this changes, so make sure you check the documentation. But like text messages on the iPhone would come through, but
no images.
No images. Look at this, and boom, you get the X, and you can't see it. And you're like, okay. And then the most funny part was randomly you get stuff from other apps, like from Facebook. Gilda commented on your photo, and you're like, okay, and you tap it, and it doesn't go anywhere. You're like, oh, what did she say? Did she insulting me or whatever? You never know.
There was like messages that sometimes it wouldn't go through. And for example, like we said before, for people like us that are attached to the cats, that we wanted to make sure, even though we knew they were perfectly well cared, but we still wanted to see them.
Yeah.
It was a torture because they would send us pictures, but we couldn't see anything because there was nothing there. And then at some point, he had to take care of something from work.
Yeah.
And so that was another problem.
Yeah.
So we ended up paying for in the fantasy.
Fantasy, the last one, yeah.
And the fantasy, we ended up paying for the internet.
And it wasn't extremely expensive, and
it wasn't extremely expensive, but it wasn't cheap either.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you include that in your budget, because this is the most amazing part about this. The app works so well.
Oh yeah.
The app is like
it worked everywhere. You could even chat with your family members if you had the app open anywhere where they were.
Or with anybody. You made friends with your people in the table and you wanted to send them a message. You would add them on the app, and then you would be able to talk to them through it. So it made no absolute sense.
No sense, yeah.
I was like, why is this happening?
No.
It was so frustrating.
Yeah, now something that you could also do, which is what we did many times when we get to the islands or whatever island you are, you find the place that had free Wi-Fi.
Oh my God.
Then it was free game. You know, you go and you catch up. So yeah, that's another thing that we did a lot.
That was the funniest thing in our first cruise. We got down, I think it was the Bahamas. That was the first one. And everybody ran towards Starbucks that was nearby. Yeah. I think it was Starbucks. So it was somewhere that they knew had a Wi-Fi. Yeah. Everybody it was like a drug addict.
Yeah, now I will say also that even if you have the Wi-Fi, now expect it to be extremely slow. Like there was one night I tried to do stories from the ship, and I paid for the Wi-Fi, and it was like at 5 o'clock in the morning. I want to do stories of the whole ship. And it took a day to upload. I remember because I was uploading, and I didn't want to stop it because I didn't want to lose all the videos when you're doing the reels, when you're doing the stories on Instagram. You know that if you close the app, you lose them.
So the next thing we're going to talk about is the food.
The food.
Oof.
Good
so
stuff.
Good.
Good stuff.
So good.
Yes.
There is, you can go to Cabanas, which is buffet style for breakfast and lunch.
Yes.
Which
we loved.
We loved doing that. It's on the 11th floor. It has a view of the entire, like, everything. And you can look out the window or where the islands that you are, or the sunrise. It's absolutely fabulous. We love it. You can also go downstairs and have a sit-down meal. It's whatever you prefer.
Yeah.
Some people the day at sea, they would go down to the sit down. Yeah. To the dining room, and they would sit there. So it just whatever you
whatever
prefer.
in the mood for. Yeah. I'd at least try one.
The good thing for Cabana has a little bit of everything. Luis had an experience on Cabana with the shrimp.
Yes, so Cabana's, like you said, it's unlimited, which is great, which is one of the places why we always used to go, because obviously it was unlimited food. And another cool thing about Cabanas was that it was the whole back part of the ship. So if you wanted something and there was like a little bit of line, 2-3 people, you can always just go ahead to the next
jump in, walk to the next station, and you can probably find exactly the same thing.
Never waited more than 2 minutes for anything. It was ridiculous.
Everything was so good.
But the experience with the shrimp, there was a couple of parts that had stations with shrimp, and there was shrimp there that was never going to run out, just like all the other food. We never saw any shortage of food anywhere.
Yeah, in any way, shape, or form.
So they brought out this fresh mountain of shrimp, and this lady ran in front of me and grabbed
but it was like, it was I-4 tourist.
Yeah, like if you missed the exit
from left to right. Yeah, you missed the exit.
You missed the exit of Disney Springs.
And Luis was like, oh.
I'm like, what's going on? And then she should just grab the spoon and start like forking the stuff and trying to put it on her plate. I'm like, okay. But it was like, I guess it was first time cruiser. She just came off one of the other ones. She came off one of the other cruises where it was like limited, I guess.
I don't know. It was weird, but it was funny at the same time because Luis raised his hands like, I was like, okay. Oh, okay.
Go okay. Good luck.
Go ahead. Yeah. No problem.
But definitely good. And then the other places for lunch and breakfast, obviously it was limited. I don't want to say limited, but it was off of the menu, and it wasn't like, give me a second portion. Give me some more of this. No.
I'm sure that if you ask, they'll probably make it.
Yeah.
But we personally feel kind of bad.
Yeah.
So and then it's not like you leave hungry. Don't get me wrong. But if you want to pig out a little bit, go to Cabanas. Go to the 11th floor.
Exactly.
I have food allergies, and they were always so mindful about it. Our server, sweet server, one of the nights, he brought me the menu for the next day and said, we're going to have, almost every meal has mushrooms.
Yeah, I remember
so we're going to, I'm bringing you the menu to make sure that whatever we cook for you, it doesn't not have any mushrooms. And he would constantly remember, no, don't order that has mushrooms. This don't have mushrooms.
Yeah, he was awesome.
He was fantastic and so sweet, so mindful about it. I absolutely adore him.
Yeah.
And he was great.
Yes.
And we're picky eaters, so to say that we had a variety of food, that's saying a lot, because we don't eat sushi, we don't eat like any of that.
Many fish, you don't like any type of fish. Yeah, no sushi, no fish, no. Something
so
like that.
I consider myself a picky eater, but it still was plenty of food, so you won't go hungry. You can even order of room service, and there's even a station. What's the cars area?
Oh yes. There was,
oh my God.
We'll
put it on the
Mater
the
sandwiches,
Maters
and
the
pizzas
sandwiches
and hamburgers, and it was like nonstop. And it was all there on the 11th floor. Now, with that said, I will inject it. We do, if I haven't said it already, there's the videos that we did of the 2 cruise ships, and they all have videos of all the stuff. Yeah. And all the stuff that we're talking about is on those videos, so make sure you check them out. You're able to find the links. I'll put them below as well as at the end of this podcast. So. Yeah.
But we had, it was amazing. Food was absolutely fantastic. Yep. We don't regret any of it. I can't wait for the Wish because I know it's going to be fantastic.
Yes.
And then I can't wait to get to Cabanas and sit at the top of the floor and watch the sunrise. Sunrise all the way up. Oh, man. It's a view. It's that absolute view. Yeah, we loved it. It was so relaxing. Oh, it was a very relaxing cruise.
Wake up every morning and see where you're at, and new sunset of Mexico, Grand Cayman,
Jamaica, everything. It was
Castaway Cay was another one. It was so cool.
It's fantastic. Everything is so fantastic. Yeah. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this first podcast. Yep. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment below of suggestions, stuff you want us to talk about. Yeah. Anything at all. We'll take any comments, criticism, whatever you guys want to leave. And don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, to this channel. We'll keep them going. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right, guys. Bye.
See you later. Take care. See ya. Bye.